Hello, class. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about Canada using the SWOT method. And I'm sure you haven't seen this already before, and I'm sure this is your first time hearing somebody talk about Canada using the SWOT method today. First, I want to talk about strengths. A majority of other countries struggle with things like healthcare and dealing with marginalized groups and other such things, while we have been able to worry about things on the lighter side as of the last few decades. We have consistently been able to maintain a mostly clean image in the public eye, while remaining a nice tourist destination for people with such places like Saskatchewan and Vancouver. All that to say that Canada doesn't have a squeaky clean record. In fact, Canada has one of the largest shifts in cultures in terms of advancing as a society. And probably the best example of something Canada's been doing recently very well is how they're handling COVID. With all the restrictions going on, they seem to be taking it very seriously, which is a very good thing in times like these. The fact that they have given out $2,000 a month to some people is crazy, in a really good way. Hopefully Canada's able to consistently make these good decisions in the future. It would seem that Canada solves its problems by attempting to reconcile with previous enemies made. In a general sense, Canada doesn't have that much wrong with it at the moment. We live in a country that's treating its people with respect, and even with its checkered past, we've been trying to make up for it. And I know that maybe some people did blackface, but I think we should be somewhat proud of the country that we currently live in. Next up, weaknesses. Since the previous actions of Canada from the past, we've done a lot to try and make up for it, a large case being that of the Indigenous peoples with residential schools. These schools caused decades of torment for these groups. In the past, there had been an enormous amount of repugnant behavior towards women and non-Caucasian races as well, and those of marginalized groups, as most societies had been doing at the time as well. This isn't to say by any means that Canada had an excuse, it's just that a lot of the world had been doing this at the exact same time as well. Canada has attempted to fix these issues, and many alike, by throwing money at the situation, hoping that decades of injustices would be swept away by using over $1 billion in funds seem to have worked out better than you would expect. A negative trend right now is the pollution currently going on. While we may be in a place that's good for society, we are in a bad spot in terms of the planet. As the more we spread out and urbanize, with more people moving into the nation, we are polluting the area around us to a detrimental degree. Oh, opportunity! In Canada, there are a lot of ways to make an impact, and it sort of starts with having a job. If you are able to do your job and do it well, then you're going to make a positive impact regardless. Whether or not you want to take your job to a higher standard is entirely up to you. If you want to make a name for yourself, hard work is the best way to start. Education is free up until college and university, so if you want to make enough money on your own with a high school education, it's best to take a gap year between. Last up, T for trends. As of writing the script, I want to say that it amazes me how accepting people are in Canada. You can be anything you want to be, and there's a group out there to help you. Some people that I know refer to Canada as being too politically correct, but I honestly don't mind it at all. If you want to be you, Canada's just a great place to do that. Going back to a previous point I did make, it does seem like Canada is expanding too much. We can consistently see growth in a number of people immigrating here and having children. So if we don't properly exercise our housing, businesses, and factories of the sort, we could end up being in a bad spot. All that being said, Canada is an incredibly solid place to live. There are a couple of crazy people here and there, and our Prime Minister did blackface that one time, but things are pretty okay. We have free healthcare too, which I didn't even touch on earlier, but it's an amazing place to live. And honestly, I'd say it's probably the best place to live right now. That being said, we are extremely close to the States. We have to make sure that we have a good relationship since they're our number one trade partners, so it's very important to us who wins. As an example, the current election going on. A lot of people, being Canadians, tune into this election since it's detrimental to our trade processes. It's tough to say whether or not that's a good or bad thing because it mostly just depends on who's leading the country at the time, but it is a trend that will continue. That was it. I did the project, Sanford. Please give me a good mark, man. I don't know if is he in this corner? Or is he in this corner here? I think he's in this one. I hope I'm right about that. Anyway, yeah, Canada, it's pretty good. A minus. Sanford, you said that no one has ever done interpretive dance, but today I prove you wrong, buddy.